Hello, this is the mob farm I've been working on. I have a couple of prototypes, and this is what I come up with. It's stackable. You can start off with one layer and then add up to six as you get string for the scaffolding. But let's jump into it. We're going to stack up starting off with 19 blocks. We're going to count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm going to make a 4-block opening. And what I'm making here is a spot to put water to reset fall damage. Because really they're going to drop from approximately 23 blocks high, and I just want to make sure they don't die. You get more when you hit them with the looting sword than just dying naturally. But the actual spawning platform is going to be 25 blocks off the ground. So I'll place buttons and then water. And now we're going to go up 4 more blocks as a total. So I've already done 1. So we're going to do 3 more. So 9 plus 4, or 19 plus 4 gives me 23. So what we're going to do here now is go 8 blocks each direction from that center location. You count the block that the ring starts with. And I'm sorry about the texture pack I got on. I know it's covering up what I'm doing, but I have it here intentionally to show. So it's after the ring, it's 7 more blocks for a total of 8, because that's how far water travels. So that's first block here is 1, right? And then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to double count on the way back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I know it's hard to see with this, but I have it here for a purpose or for a reason. Not just to give you a number, but to understand why we give numbers and height when you're building these things and how important they are. Basically, within this sphere, if you're inside of that green globe, nothing could spawn. See here where it's above the green? These blocks are spawnable. So I'm purposely done this and set this up so by the time you make you build this up too high right here that I'm working on right now, it will be spawnable locations. And you'll see that when I do the second ring. You can leave those corners on there that I took off, but it just saves blocks. This basically, these walls here are to contain the water and then eventually the mobs. A water stream will push them towards the center. And if you did the 8 blocks properly, it should stop before it overflows into the center. Now notice every one of these blocks I set right here is above the green. In between the green and the red globe are all spawnable locations from the spot I will be standing down at killing the mobs. And that's how it always works when you're walking or going through a cave or flying. You always have this fear following you that you don't see, where mobs can and cannot spawn. See, every one of these blocks is above the green. I fit in the best I could to get the most amount of towers I can make, or platforms I can make. And this is going to be the wall that'll extend all the way up. We're going to wrap it around. The actual spawning platform will be down one block from here. This will be the spawning platform right here. It should be 8 blocks wide and 8 blocks long. So 8 by 8. So to start this farm off, you will need 4 stacks of scaffolding. You don't have string, try to find a mine shaft. Get yourself some to start there. It'd be nice to be able to start off with at least 2 layers. 1 layer of this is kind of slow, but you'll get some string as you go, and you'll be able to build layers as you get string. The first layer, or only 1 layer, is relatively slow. I'll show you later in the video to give you an idea of what 6 layers does, or how fast it is. But we're going to build this here, cap it off with the roof, and then go stand for a few minutes and watch the rates. You're going to end up keep continuously, as you build platforms, you're going to keep building this wall up to allow basically room for the water streams that are on top of the scaffolding and these signs. These signs only have to go in one direction. You don't have to crisscross them. And you can do the 8 signs, turn around, and go this way, and do 8 this way. You can save yourself 4 signs per layer. Or you can just run signs all the way across that 2 block gap right there, where the central drops center is right there. You have to do this on both sides here. Oops, that's a mistake. This will contain your water streams. And if you did make an actual 8 by 8 platform, the water won't overflow past these blocks. Double check your numbers. Make sure these are 8 by 8. And then you shouldn't have a problem. After these signs are up, we're going to put down scaffolding. The scaffolding provide a dry block for normal mobs to spawn in. And then they'll spawn in, but their heads will be in water. And that'll push them over the edge. This is how all main mob farms work, the dual density ones too. It's better doing this than trying to rely on some kind of pathfinding. Turtle eggs for stuff like this and stackable. Not really. I don't really like them. I'm sure there's a way that it can be done as reliable, but I prefer this. This is better than pathfinding. And really with the eggs, turtle eggs, you're only pathfinding with zombies. Your creepers and your skeletons are just walking around in circles. So you could put dead brain coral fans, I believe these are named. If you don't have them or are too hard to get, just use trapdoors. I find these are better. They recognize them as a full block, and there's no pixel, that one pixel that sometimes mobs get caught on. If you have access to these, use these. But if you don't, trapdoors will be just fine. Because you got to remember, the spiders and the babies are not going to be in the water unless they get bumped and moved somehow up there. They're going to be walking around this platform here and pathfinding and walking around. If there's a gap here, they're not going to walk over, and they might actually end up tying up some of your mob cap. So the babies and the spiders, you're going to rely a little bit on pathfinding. All the rest that are 2 blocks high are going to get flushed. And I probably should have did this part first, because when you're going to be in survival, you know, you're going to end up having a bunch of mobs down here. So I'm sorry I did this part out of order, but watch the video, you know, and see what goes on. Do this first. I skipped it. I'm going to go ahead and not fast forward this first layer. When I come back later on to put the second layer, I'll run some and fast forward. But after this layer is done, you can stack it 5 more layers. If you're low on stuff, then just do enough to do 1 for now, and then you can add later. The water stream's got to go in the same direction as signs. You don't want to hit the scaffolding, you want to hit the block. So if you hit the scaffolding, you're going to flood the scaffolding, and it's not going to work. You got to hit the block. And then make sure that the water flows all the way. This is another way you can do it. You put solid blocks here. Oops. And then from here you can put water down like you normally do water streams. And then you take the block out, put the scaffolding down. If this way is easier, do it like this. Down here, see, it's dry. They can spawn there, and their heads will be in the water, and the water will push them. I'm going to extend this up. You'd have to do this if you were doing another layer, but I'll have this done where it's set up to accept the next layer. So all you got to do is go up 1 block from the water to put your next layer. You already got the 2 blocks that you need with the scaffolding, then the water. Then you just fill in all your 8x8s. See, I missed a water source here. It didn't go all the way. This one either. And the reason why I'm not going straight across, I'm going to use dirt to fill in the middle. That way you can't easily break the signs or the stone or whatever you use um, when you add to your second level. And when you use a different material, it's marking the center for you. You're telling yourself what to dig up later. So if you use dirt for everything, then just use cobble. Something that another tool has to break besides wood. Because you don't want to break your signs either. Well, what I'll do is use dirt on this. And then I'm going to light this up. This will go dirt. That'll make it dark. These will be cave spawns. There won't be surface spawns. There is a way to make the top layer surface spawns, but it's expensive. You need tinted glass. You can cover it with regular blocks, but you won't get the max rates. And you can always cover it with regular blocks, and then as you get tinted glass, add the tinted glass to the roof. You'll get better rates that way. I'm just going to spam down torches, light it up, because it's between the green and the red. This is all prime spawnable locations here. We don't want it. Even though they're a surface spawn, I just don't want to have to come up here and have a bunch of mobs up here if I'm in survival. So there'll be a separate spawn than what's inside the mob farm. But I prefer, if I come back up here, I'm in survival. If I am, right now, obviously I'm a creative, for it not to be full of mobs. I'm basically setting it up to accept the second layer. It's like, for example, you don't have no more bamboo or string, right? And maybe you still have 40 scaffolding left. You put those down and just leave them until you get the 4 stacks of what you need. And then you add your second layer. These chests here, there's probably 5, 6, 8 different ways you can do this. You don't have to do it exactly how I am. You're just going to want to drop them down on the hoppers and then have hoppers going in the chest. This is just how I happen to do it for just this farm. But how you do it, it's how you want to do it. Now I'll put these carpets. I see other people building farms and put the carpet. I don't know if it helps with the XP or not, or what the principle is of it. But I just do what I've seen others do on this. And the same with these slabs. Some people like to put them up top here. I like to put them here. Right now, I'm not getting any mobs because I'm in peaceful. I didn't realize it. I thought I was in normal, but I forgot that I put it in peaceful. It's not very fast with one layer. You need is maximum amount of blocks you can get in one spot to maximize rates. And I thought I'd throw this out here with this as a way to get string. If you get yourself a weaving potion, throw it at that when they're full. Not just 2 mobs, but a lot more. You can get more string like this too. That's why I did this. But here we're just going to say now all of a sudden we got 4 stacks of bamboo. So we're going to do our next layer. It's already set up and ready to go. We're going to fast forward this. Again, with these dead brain coral fans or whatever they are, or trapdoors. Just use trapdoors. And the dirt marked your center for you. So that's why a different block. Getting back to building these walls up to get it ready for the next layer. Just basically repeat what we've already just did on this layer we just did. Got 4 more to go. But for now, we're going to cap this off at 2. And I'll let you see the difference between 1 and 2. It's much improved with 2 layers. To save this tinted glass, the spots over the water streams in the middle, you could put solid blocks. Just don't put solid blocks over the water streams. What I'm doing here is an option. You know, you don't have to. I'm putting sticky pistons here to push those blocks in to create a floor. The reason why I'm doing this is, one, in case for some reason I have to get in there, or say I get zombie villagers. I'm able to push the floor in, interrupt the flow of mobs dropping, kill everything but the villagers, and basically cure them. But these glass here, the redstone can go through it. It's a very simple circuit. It's nothing really major. Just a lever goes there. You can flip it. And as you can see, it shuts the chamber off. We're going to kill what we can and try to save a villager. And then we're going to cure it. And after you give it the apple, you can either just let it sit in there until it cures, or you can try to get a boat and let it out. It's probably safest to let it cure. But bedrock stew, if you log off and log back on, when you log back on, he'll be a regular villager. So, it's kind of a little bit of a cheaty type thing, but just log off the game and log back on. It hasn't been patched yet because I've done it while recording this. He missed the boat. See, this would have been an epic fail if I was in survival. I'm just going to nudge him in. I'm in creative, so. Then you got to make sure you put the blocks in, drop your mobs, and you're good to go. You can repeat that as many times as you need to. Basically, we can get a whole village here over time after you get like 20. All of them cured. You get discounts on everything. I'm going to go show you what I started. And maybe somebody come up with a better idea. I'm sure there already is. I was trying to make a stackable one that used eggs. When I made this two blocks high, they wouldn't even walk towards the egg until they had 3 blocks. And I don't know what that's all about, but with 3 high they would. But when I try to put it stackable, I had issues with them just breaking the egg under. So I was like, that ain't even worth it. I didn't go any further than that or try any other new designs. I just abandoned it. I don't like the turtle egg one. Uh, It, there's too many other mobs that ain't attracted to the turtle egg. This is the one that has 6 layers. There's some coral brain, dead fan, whatever those things are missing in this one. But this one's basically the 6 high, or the 6 layers. I'm going to show you how this really should and where it should be built. And it's not on the ground. It's up in the sky. Designs start with spawning sphere. So the globe that is above me is where mobs can spawn between a red and a green. So it's up high enough to where nothing could spawn on the ground. There's no blocks other than what I place in this area for mobs to spawn. And that's the exact conditions that you want when you build a mob farm. You want total control, if possible, how, where, and when mobs spawn. You know, obviously the when is rates are as fast. You want them as fast as possible. And if you got mobs just randomly in caves that you can't see, you're losing out. You don't want to lose out on rates just because you don't want to go up in the air. But I just basically loaded what was on the ground. I saved it in a structure box or whatever you call that thing. It loaded with whatever mobs was in it when I saved it. So I didn't get these mobs that fast. I made a little mistake here with that structure box. I loaded 2 and 1 a block lower. So it was really kind of messed up. So I had to delete it. There's mass chaos going on here because of all the mobs that were in the files. But I had to delete the building with commands. We're going to reload it. Whoops. Here's the top of it. I was messing with this off camera with leaves and stuff. It didn't work. You have to have tinted glass or solid blocks. But you can put these across where that smooth stone is, make a cross to save you. It's 18 and 18 is 36, 72 tinted glass. If you put it over the cross part of it, it won't interfere with the surface mob cap. So your spawning platforms where the water's at, you want tinted glass when you get it, if you can. But until you get tinted glass, cover it all with solid block. You will increase your rates when you add tinted glass. And for every tinted glass you put down, there's 1 more block that is a surface spawn. So if you get 30 tinted glass, go on and add them. And if your rates are good enough for you, then don't ever worry about it. We're just playing around here with this turtle things. I already know what I feel about them. They have their place, and my farm ain't it. There's gold farms that work well with just 1 pathway. But, you know, for a mob farm where you got multiple layers or potential to put multiple layers, you're not really going to get it to work unless you take up spawning blocks just to put an egg. You're better off with scaffolding and water. I know it seems this is cheaper, but you get what you pay for. See, you got to do weird things to get them to pathfind the eggs. So they needed to know that there was stairs to go to it. So if it's higher than them, there's nothing that you could do to make stairs to trick them. They're not going to go to it. Thumbs up, subscribe. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please leave a comment. Thanks for watching. If you don't like it, then don't thumbs up.